Yeah, I've lost my ticket. I'm not sure which theater my movie's in.
Well, what movie are you seeing?
The new Knives Out movie, Glass Onion.
It's down there, Benoit Blanc.
He's a terrible detective. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Tavern Talk. I'm Philip, and joining me this week, one could say Knives Out's #1 fan. Would you agree or not?
Maybe Rian Johnson is the #1 fan.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, God.
But no, Jordan Woodson is here. He is a critic and a reporter for the Log Cabin Democrat. Jordan is a huge fan of Knives Out. You've had your Twitter handle changed for the majority of this year, I feel like. So I couldn't help but say, hey, if you can, come talk Glass Onion with me. So I'm very thankful for you for being here. Yeah, of course. All that out of the way, you're clearly, we're very much looking forward to this movie. I loved the original Knives Out as well. It was in my top 3 of the year. In 2019, this was my most anticipated movie for the rest of this year. So I'm eager to hear if it met your expectations or not. But we just came out of the theater from seeing this. What is that initial reaction for you?
It kind of exceeded. I think it was honestly better than the first one.
I'm really happy to hear you say that, because I was like, during it, I was like, do I like this more than the first one? It's really hard for me to admit because I love the first one.
Way more shocking and unpredictable than the first one was. And I love that movie so much, but spoiler alert for the first Knives Out, but it was a little bit obvious that Chris Evans was the killer. Yeah. Even though I think the movie's basically perfect, but this movie is just, I did not predict virtually anything that happened in that movie.
Yeah, I love that it was that the original kind of worked on 2 levels. If it was just a simple murder mystery, if that's all you needed from it, but it also had a lot of layers to it. Not to get too ahead of ourselves, but it had layers to it. It was about something. It had some heavy themes going on, and this one is very much the same. I mean, the title Glass Onion. Glass Onion. Derived from the Beatles song, but it very much works to support the themes as well as kind of the central conceit that Johnson has kind of cooked up here, I guess. But yeah, I guess kind of the way into this is to kind of talk about the cast they have assembled this time around. Netflix gave Rian Johnson a ton of money to make a couple sequels in this series, and I think the money's on screen, definitely, in this one.
I mean, the money's all in the cast, too.
And it just feels so much bigger, too. And I was a little worried at the beginning, because we get 40 minutes of setup, defining all these, new characters and getting to know them and getting to know their circumstances in this situation we're going to be placed into. But once it sets all that up, I kind of let go of that worry and just kind of settled into this world, and it was quite a ride.
Yeah, it was extremely entertaining, and you never know what the next turn is going to be and what the next reveal is.
Yeah. Did you find this one funnier?
Halle Berry.
Maybe, yeah.
I just felt like, I don't know why, obviously the first one is very humorous, but I just felt like the humor was almost so much more, more frequent and more intentional this time around. I don't know. I feel like they really, ratcheted that up a little bit. But we've mentioned the cast, huge ensemble here.
Even not to spoil any of the cameos, but ton of very
short but very specific cameos here, which are, if you are a fan of the genre, you will appreciate for sure. But who were your standouts in this cast?
Janelle Monáe, obviously.
Yes.
Just, wow.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig, expanding further on the character. I think he really knows this character even after just 2 movies, like, perfectly.
Right.
Even more than he ever knew James Bond, I think.
I know what a hot take is.
I love that he has something to hang his hat on other than James Bond at this point. And again, like getting back into the world of Knives Out, had to kind of get back into the not just the cadence, but kind of like the whole aura of Benoit Blanc. And it did feel kind of like he had to find the groove a little bit too. But once he did, and once he got into it, I was just like, I love this. We should also mention, I guess, who else is in this. You've got Kathryn Hahn, Kate Hudson,
Edward Norton,
obviously, Leslie Odom Jr. Yeah, so kind of the simple setup here is that Edward Norton is this kind of infamous genius billionaire, madman kind of who has a tech company, almost hinted at in one flashback, kind of a like Steve Jobs character.
He's kind of a Steve Jobs meets Elon Musk type of person.
Yeah. And he invites all his friends, his crew. We should also note this is firmly set during the pandemic.
Yeah,
which
May 2020, I think it was at the beginning.
Yeah, and that is something Johnson has talked about with these movies in the past. He's like, you know, how we thought of Agatha Christie stories and her murder mysteries as kind of like timeless or like of a certain period of more of an innocence, but like that she had firmly set her mysteries in the day and age they were written in as well. And I think he makes a point to do that. Like obviously the themes in the first Knives Out were very resonant of the times that were happening then, and this too is very, very loyal to that idea, and setting it in the pandemic was just kind of putting a cross on the T, dot on the I on our glass onion.
And if anyone like rolls their eyes at the idea of it being set during the pandemic, it basically goes away after 40 minutes. Like,
yeah.
Once they get to the island they're going to, the masks are off. And
that cameo to kind of get rid of the masks and everything was really, really great.
A lot of details with the type of mask each person wears. Like, what's her name? The one that played
the model?
Yeah.
Oh, Kate Hudson,
Her mask. I don't have to say what the mask is.
Yeah.
But it's very specific to the character.
Yeah. It's just a great joke, too. Like, saying the setup is that they have all been kind of a tight-knit group for years and years before each of them has their own kind of fame and fortune now, are very notable for things other than just being, you know, this close-knit group of friends. And he invites them all back for kind of this extravagant weekend. They do it once a year, although this year is kind of obviously has a little bit of a different twist to it because Benoit Blanc has been invited as well. But things obviously don't play out as expected. Rian Johnson, per usual, continues to kind of upend expectations and upend tropes of the genre. But yeah, what is your kind of take on the themes of this movie, and what do you think he was trying to go after here?
I think, so not more to think of the themes, but like definitely like within the whodunit genre, he's just like completely like, bends, flips, breaks, shatters everything.
Mm-hmm.
With this one even more so than the last one.
Yeah, I thought it was really smart here. Like we mentioned, the glass onion kind of idea, and Daniel Craig's Benoit Blanc says this. It is something that has layers, but at its core, you can kind of see right through it, the glass onion, that is to say. And like we said, this is very timely, and Johnson likes to make his themes pertain to this timely notion. It is, when you can have so many different hot takes or so many different news sites reporting stories differently and things like that, he kind of breaks down how one story can multiply into so many different perspectives, and that again works for the different layers of that onion, but still being able to hopefully at the end of the day see through to the core of it and see what the truth of the actual matter is. And I just thought doing all of that within the story, he's not heavy-handed with it at all. Like, again, you can go to this and just find a murder mystery if you want to.
100%.
Yeah, but it definitely has at the heart of it, and at the heart of Edward Norton's character specifically, not to get into too much of a spoiler territory here, but it really has just kind of this idea of peeling back those layers to the point of kind of exposing like the truth for what it is. And I really kind of want to talk about what is at the conceit of Ed Norton's character, but we won't do that right now. But also just I thought the casting of Ed Norton as this disruptor was really great and very strategic as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think Janelle Monáe is a very good choice for this role. I think kind of plays into what Ana de Armas kind of played into with her character.
Oh, very true. Yeah,
and I think she fits into that like mold of the casting type really well, and even just goes above and beyond with it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, not interesting. It makes sense that he kind of positions two women, two young heroines, at kind of at the center of his stories, and they have this. Again, there's a duality to both Ana de Armas and Janelle Monáe's characters, that they, kind of the perception of who they are versus who they actually are, and the objective they actually have within the construct of the story. No, that's really interesting. I hadn't thought about the fact that the two films kind of mirrored in that way. Yeah, no, I really like this. I thought the production design was really
incredible.
Just crazy. Yeah,
just that whole like living room hangout area, and then like the glass onion is just
very cool to look at. And the costumes, again, like it's interesting how the first one had a very distinct vibe of that murder mystery house and kind of the family coming together, and this one is more that remote island, people isolated, and then the murder happening within that. So honestly, I don't know where he's going to go next. I can't wait, but I would hate to be him I wouldn't hate to be Rian Johnson.
Oh God.
Let me state that. But I would hate to be in the position of having to continue to write mysteries like this and figure out ways to top myself and be be smarter about it, because I don't know how he's done it twice. I can't doubt him, but it's crazy to think how you go from where do you go from here?
He's clearly having fun with this.
Yeah.
Like, it's very clear on screen that he is just having a blast creating these stories and making them, and I think that translates well, and he very likely could do it again in the third one.
Yeah, the only thing that got me was like, I've watched the first one several times. I'm sure you have as well, and it has such a great rewatchability factor to it, even though it is a mystery that but again, he upends expectations there in such a way that it has that quality to it. And I wondered if this one with it. I don't know that it's more mystery centric, because there are, again, and being true to the title, so many layers at play here. But I wonder how I'm curious to rewatch it really soon and see how it holds up now that I know the truth of everything.
Even then, I think just the fun of it all.
Yeah.
It's a very fun movie to watch, that even if like you go at it again knowing all the shocks, all the turns, you can still have fun with it.
Right. Did we mention Dave Bautista's in this?
Really, Duke?
Oh my God!
Really?
We should have. We did it.
I can't remember, but Dave Bautista's in this, and speaking of fun, he's really great. I'm glad he's getting to do kind of stuff like this as well. But yeah, you're definitely on point with Janelle Monáe. She carries the biggest weight as far as performance in this movie. And
I'll give a shout out to Jessica Henwick, and just it's like very small role she has, but I think she's really fun in it.
And so is she the...
She's the assistant of Kate Hudson.
I was going to say, I wanted to mention Whiskey, but I couldn't remember who the actress was.
Madelyn Cline is the Whiskey.
Am I just too old to know what she's famous for, or is she famous for anything yet?
I don't know Madelyn Cline. I know Jessica Henwick was in the last Matrix movie.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
I knew I recognized her, but I hadn't, I couldn't put my finger on where. But no, yeah, I feel like there's so much to discuss with this one, but I really, I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
It's hard to get into everything without spoiling, because there's just so many different types of spoilers within this.
Yes, very true. And it is going wide in theaters for a week during the week of Thanksgiving, but then will be on Netflix in late December. I want to say the 22nd?
It's a little bit around Christmas time.
Okay, well, at the end of the show, you know this from Morbius, your favorite movie of the year. We do an out of 5-star rating at the end of the show. So, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. What would your star rating be?
Easy 5.
Easy 5?
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. Like, I can't believe he did this again, and I was just like, I was kind of anxious going into it. I'm sure you were. Were you a little nervous?
I've been anxious ever since it was
announced. Fair enough. Yeah. But once it got flowing and we got everybody in place, I was like, okay. And then as it kind of revealed itself to be about what it was about, and the mystery played out just as eloquently and just as surprisingly as it did the first time around, I was like, holy cow, he did it again. So yeah.
It's not like a copy and paste of it.
No.
It's like completely different layers and
right.
everything.
It's a completely. That's what I guess I kind of meant about the jokes. Like the tone feels different. Obviously, the location is different. The
Only
players
thing
are
same,
different.
Rian Johnson's writing and directing. Daniel Craig is playing Benoit Blanc.
Yeah.
Only similarity.
And at this rate, I will watch 10 more movies of them doing this because, I'm right there with you. It's like Knives Out, Glass Onion is definitely one of my favorite movies I've seen this year. 5 out of 5 for me as well. But yeah, I mean, what else can we say? I can't recommend it highly enough. And can't recommend if it's playing in a movie theater near you at any point. Go see it in a movie theater. I would love to see this with a big crowd.
Yeah, just like hearing the laughter with the audience as well. Just
we
were not many people in our screening.
Right. Yeah, that's what kind of meant. Like I'd love to hear like the crowd with all the revelations and all the jokes and everything. And his friend, what's his friend's name that he puts kind of in all of his movies?
Noah Segan.
Noah
Segan.
He played the cop at the last.
He played the cop in the last one. Name?
Noah Segan.
His bit in this one, great as well. But thank you, Jordan, for doing this, man. I really, really appreciate you taking the time out to not just see the movie, but come over here and do this review with me. So thank you so much. And thank you guys, for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that notification bell for sure, because we try to upload a new review of the biggest release every week. So you hit that notification bell, you'll know when we do that. But thank you for watching. Thank you, Jordan, once again. No problem. Thank you to the Movie Tavern, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace. What's that? I only have one contact in, so I can't see.
Is that saying Madelyn Cline's from Outer Banks?
Yep.
Okay.
And so all the young kids are going to know that.
Okay. Then I am too old.
You are.
I didn't know. I don't watch Outer Banks.
I watched 2 episodes and then quit because, nope, not for me.